And I have a lovely slideshow for you. So this is all about mastering your Facebook and your Instagram advertising. We know it's important to be on social media. It's really essential to be out there on social media, to have a representation, to get ourself out there to the peoples. So we're going to go over social ad engine, like myths versus reality when it comes to your social media advertising. Three styles of ads. So we have awareness ads, traffic, and leads. What are they? How do they work? And what works for you and your business? And then we'll do a short demo to determine, do you want to do agent branding? Do you want to do a listing ad? You can add video now. And then real-time results, excuse me, leads, reports, things of that nature. So you might say, well, why was social ad engine developed? Here's what we know. We know you're short on time. You need easier ways to advertise your listings and yourself to get more clients. Facebook advertising can be hard. And also, you want control over what's getting out there, but you also need some support. You need some dedicated support to promoting yourself. And, what if you get stuck? Is there someone there that can help? How do we get this done? And also, how do we stay compliant? I think that that's always the part that we leave out. How do I make sure that I'm compliant? I'm not breaking any real estate rules. So social ad engine was built for Coldwell Banker agents. I always try not to geek out on this part because Coldwell Banker is such a big company that they literally sat down with Facebook and they worked with Facebook to develop social ad engine. So we are literally the only brokerage that has this. The fact that Facebook, as big as they are as a world company, a global company like we are, sat down with Coldwell Banker and developed this kind of blows my mind. And in doing that, they put in all of their algorithms, all the algebra we said we would never, ever need. They put in all the algorithms, all the things that are needed to push the ads out. You can very easily go in, customize your copy, your photos, your campaign targeting. It does have fair housing in mind with that because we know Facebook got in trouble several years ago, got their hands slapped. So it does take into account fair housing rules. And there's a real-time reporting dashboard, seller reports if you're doing a listing, sending that out that you can send to track success for your campaign. So we know some myths here. You don't need a business page to advertise on Facebook, and that's false. If you're putting things out on your personal profile, that is not advertising. We have the personal profile. That's for your friends and your family. Every single person who is on Facebook today has a personal profile. You cannot have a business profile without having a personal profile. And also you have a business page, and that's for your client. So again, we have a profile and then we have a page, and they are very different. Myth number 2 is that if you are advertising on Facebook because you're posting on your Facebook business page, that's advertising. That's false. Organic posts are seen by less than 3% of the people who follow your page. So if somebody's not following your page, they're not seeing anything at all, most likely. And you'll notice that maybe you have 350 people following your page. And on average, when you go back through all of your posts, you're seeing that you're only reaching maybe 20 to 30 people with each post. People may or may not be engaging. That's why, because organically, less than 3% are finding your posts. Obviously, if they connect with you and they engage more, they will see more. But also boosting a post, people say, oh, I'm just going to boost it. I've had agents go in and spend $50 boosting a post, thinking that that is very effective, and that's going to drive the business results that they're looking for. That only works, guys, if you want likes, comments, and shares. And I don't know about you, but somebody can go onto my Facebook business page and they can like it all day long. That does not equal a paycheck. They can comment all day long. They can share it all day long. That does not, again, equal a paycheck. So how do I advertise myself to get the paychecks? I want to turn these people into clients. I want them to sell with me. I want them to buy with me. So we need to have objectives. Again, with marketing, I have to have a strategy. I want to make sure that I'm building my ads to get specific results. So maybe I want awareness. I want to showcase my sellers, a high visibility for their listing, or I want to push out an agent ad that's all about me because I want as many people as possible out there to know I am the real estate agent that they need to connect with to buy or sell or rent. Excuse me. Also, we have traffic ads. Maybe I'm trying to drive as much traffic to my website. We know the more people that visit the website, the more that will register. And if you utilize the InTouch agent website, I know that if you come to my website right now and you register, you are automatically in my CRM. You're in my client relationship management tool. I'm able to market to you. You're automatically in my sphere. You're going to get my monthly newsletter. I'm going to keep in touch with you. And that's how I can do that lead generation and turn those leads into clients, or like I like to say, turn those leads into paychecks. So again, driving as much traffic to my website as possible so people can find me, they can read my bio, they can see communities that I serve and all the great information that I've customized on that website for them. And then, of course, we have leads. So a contact list, we're going to have a lead form in the system. I can follow up, I can nurture. Again, taking these leads, turning them into clients, turning them into paychecks. So if you want to drive awareness of your listing, again, we have the awareness ad. You'll see here kind of a small snapshot of what that would look like. And then it's going to go out to a section around that particular property. You can drive, again, traffic, promoting buyers to get more property information and contact information. They can click through, they can go to your website, they can get all the information about the property. Or if you place an ad for yourself, they can get more information about you. You are able to utilize brand serve tactics. So if you're thinking, well, I'd like to push out an ad for myself, but I'm not really sure how to create it, the system has ad templates already created for you. You can also customize them. That's when things like brand serve come into play. So someone clicks on your ad, a lead form pops up directly in Facebook. They have not left Facebook. They're still in the app. It will autofill their information in most cases, their first name, their last name, their email. If you have asked any additional questions, like, what is your favorite thing about your home, or when are you looking to move? Once that information is in there, they just slide to submit it. The information comes to you. It does go via lead router. So that is going to come directly to your phone if you have it set up that way, or via email, however you have your system set up. And then also, they can also, in addition to that, click through and visit your website if they so choose. All of the optimization comes through the system. So it's in all of the apps that Facebook has. We see here, that's the desktop, the mobile, the messenger, the marketplace, the Instagram, all of the places that Facebook feeds to, because we know that's where people spend most of their time. They're in the feeds, they're in messenger, they're in marketplace, they're in all of those places. I'll see here also, I always like to point out, I have some agents that have come to me and they're like, look, I have a Facebook business page. I do not have an Instagram business page. I have some agents that aren't even on Instagram yet. That's okay. It still goes to Instagram. Facebook owns Instagram, so you get that added benefit. Even if you're not on, as the kids say, the gram, you will still get that that marketing out there on Instagram. So you might be wondering why you would use social ad engine. So I won't necessarily read through all this, but we know social distancing changed the way that people view social media. You know, at one point it was for our safety, and I think all of this, you know, is in the past now. But people are still, going to social media now. It's habitual. So you know, we're coming out of the whole quarantine. We're starting to come out of the pandemic. People still want to stay connected. They still want to stay connected. There are some people that still don't feel comfortable going out. Messenger over quarantine increased by 50% in some places. So that we're still seeing those numbers are still up in the social media world in that realm. And you know, it helps you to go virtual. Video is another big thing. 54% of consumers want to see more video content from people that they follow. We know that's just that instant gratification. They don't have to read anything. All they have to do is watch your video. So if you have videos, this is a great way to push out some of those listing concierge video slideshows. A great way to push those out as well as if you have your own video that you've recorded where you're introducing yourself, things of that nature. Another thing that this system has that I really like is that you can plan ahead. This could be, I have a coming soon. It's going to hit the MLS on Friday. I know that I cannot put that in my MLS ahead of time. I do not want that $5,000 fine if I'm doing, marketing outside of when that's in, a day before, 24 hours of it being in the MLS. So I can put my social ad engine ad in, and I can say, hey, maybe I want this to come out on Thursday, or if you're really stoked, maybe we'll just wait until Friday. You can publish it later. So this is stuff that you can set up ahead of time. If you know you're going to be really busy that day with the listing, getting it on the market, doing all the things, you can plan this out ahead of time. Or maybe I just want to plan out several different campaigns ahead of time. I can do that. So this was designed for agents, again, built directly for Coldwell Banker, for our agents only, and you can access it directly through Desk. Whenever you hear me say Desk, I do mean mycvdesk.com. I know there's that Realogy site floating out there, but mycvdesk.com is definitely most agent friendly. And this really helps you as well by building those campaigns a lot faster. So there's a driver in there that helps you. You can get in, you can put these together in no time at all. Of course, if you're just starting out, if you're not as tech savvy, it may take a little longer. That's okay. Be patient with yourself. You'll get the grasp of it quickly. And there's 24/7 support. So this is something that I actually really appreciate. I know as an agent, you guys work around the clock. Maybe it's late at night. You finally, got the kids to bed, the dog is settled down, and you're willing, you have some time now that you can sit down and get some things done. It's quiet. You have a question, you can reach out. It's not a business hours kind of thing. So if you have a question about the campaign, you can reach out. Anything related to social media, let the team know. And again, like I did say in the beginning, this is a very unique collaboration with Facebook. They built this program customized for us. Coldwell Banker reached out and said, look, we have agents that are paying for ads. We don't know if those ads are working. How do we make sure those ads are working? And they built this program for us. So how we stack up. So again, you'll see we do have access directly from Desk. You can create a campaign in under 5 minutes. Again, if you're not tech savvy, it may take a few more minutes. That's okay. You can create a campaign aimed at your advertising goal. Again, do I want people to be aware of my brand? Do I want to drive traffic to my website? Do I want to get some leads? Automatically build the campaigns for your listings right in this program. Test for very successful images. Also optimize for the best performance. You have several photos that will go in as well. If you are advertising a listing, you can download the seller report, send that to your seller, make yourself look really good. And again, that 24/7 support. So you can go in and create and publish a listing campaign very easily. I've had some agents that say, hey, I have listing concierge and I have boost. Why would I want to do this? Maybe you just really need to get this property out. Maybe you really want to impress the seller. Maybe to win the listing, you promised extra marketing. So when you first go in, the first step is to build and save your campaign. So this is really in the beginning. You really do have to know what your ultimate goal is. Again, getting as many people to see your ad as possible, driving them all to your website or the specific link. Now, this could be your website. It could be your single property website from Listing Concierge. Anything that you deem, if you're pushing out an ad, that you want to say, hey, how much is your home worth? Maybe it is the sell tab on your website. Or leads, again, letting them submit their contact information directly in the system. And all of the campaign copy is pre-populated. So that's another thing that I really enjoy about this particular program is that if I have writer's block, it's going to give me a diving board, a platform, something is going to be there already. If I don't like it, I can rewrite it. I can make it my own, but it's already going to be there for me. So you can edit the body, the headline, the link description boxes. You can really take control over this marketing as you would like to. You can also use some images. So if I'm doing a listing ad, I want to put those images out there. I can determine what property images I want in my ad. Selecting the target. Excuse me. So that will default to a 25-mile radius around the address. Let's say you go into CBX buyer profile and it's telling you, hey, you should really target this particular area. You can add more custom targeting in here, choosing your own cities, zip codes, etc., to target from the target menu. And once your changes are saved, let's say you've gone in and you decide, oh no, I don't like any of this, I want to start over. You can go back to the default or save or undo anything, reset as you need to. The second would be to select the package. So this is paid marketing. You guys know I love free marketing, but sometimes paid marketing is where it's at. So you can choose the package that fits your budget the best. And again, choosing that start date, I can publish it now, I can start it later, I can click the date on the pop-up calendar and then just pay and publish. So selecting your advertising goal. And again, we have those three unique ways which you can deliver your ad, a reach goal. So why would I choose that? Maybe I want to maximize the exposure of the listing, of myself as an agent. I want to promote a specific local event. Maybe it's an open house, a special event tied to the listing. Maybe there's a shred event coming up for my office and I want to push that out to as many people as possible. Anything of that nature, you can use social ad engine. Reach campaigns also help your property, or again, if you're doing an agent ad, that agent ad seen by the most amount of people on Facebook, again, within the radius that you set when you publish the campaign. This is just an example of what one of them might look like. So traffic campaigns, we want to drive as many people to our website as possible. My apologies for the old logo here. But here is, I had this listing on my website and I wanted as many people to find it as possible. Again, using your budget to optimize for as many click-throughs as possible. So that's how they're going to judge that, how many people have actually clicked through, how much traffic has actually been funneled to your you would choose a traffic ad if you want to provide a lot more information that you can't show in the little small space on that Facebook ad. They can also learn more about you. They can see other listings that you have for sale through features. If you don't have a lot of listings, just as a reminder, and in touch, you can include and feature listings from your office as well on your website. And then the user can contact you find your details on the site. They can read your bio. They can get all your contact information, fill it out, and request more information. And then, of course, last but not least, we have our lead generation campaign. They're going to click on it. They're going to get to that form that is most likely going to auto-populate their information. It makes it so much easier for them to give you their info. And leads submitted will be directly routed to you via lead router. So if you have it set up, they will ring to your phone directly, or they will come to you via email. So you want to choose a lead ad. We know that people that take the time to submit the form and give you their information, probably a lot more genuinely interested in the property or seeing the property, or like I said, if it's an agent ad, they are more interested in connecting with you to actually go out and buy and sell real estate. But we always want to make sure that we're following up as soon as possible, because that's our best chance of turning these people around. And again, choosing to do that, you turn them from a lead into a client. And we know clients are the ones where we get those paychecks. So they do have some campaign best practices, and I find this is great for social ad engine and really just social media in general. So whenever we're doing any kind of listing advertising, we always want to use the photos that best represent the property. I would say now, statistically speaking, in our market, I would say that probably 80 to 85% of agents do use professional photography. I don't see too many of the cell phone pictures anymore, but in selecting your photos, you want to choose photos that best represent the property. The best photos for Facebook or any kind of social media advertising are always going to be well lit. They're going to have a clear focal point. Excuse me. And you want to make sure that you are getting to anything in the system, anything about your property that is a prime feature. Always choose at least one exterior, one interior shot. The third is, no holds barred, either or, because you don't know what your audience is going to respond to best. This will push your ad out with 3 different photos. So you will literally get 3 different ads that are going to be pushed out. It's the same ad, just it's going to look different. It's going to be pushed out 3 different ways. And as always, not only with social media imaging, but all of the third-party real estate websites that we use, including the MLS, use landscape photos. We don't deal with any third parties or any websites that deal with profile or portrait or vertical photos, although I still tend to see them. Best practice is always to have landscape photos. In this system in particular, if you do try to put a portrait photo in, it will stretch it, it will be very distorted, and it will not look good. So they do have to be the horizontal or the landscape photos. And again, if you're getting that professional photography done by Listing Concierge, you're going to have all landscape photos, as you should anyway. Also, we have some copy tips. You'll see the body up here of your ad, the headline, and the link description. So in here, some of these numbers are a little bit different, but for the most part, your headline is going to maybe highlight the address of the property, a clear call to action. We recommend 25 to 30 characters maximum so it doesn't get cut off. The body will reference the clear selling points of the property, about 90 characters recommended, again, so it doesn't get cut off. And that link description on the bottom emphasizes key selling points, about 30 characters recommended. So they have tested thousands of real estate ads and they found what does work best. Again, these are best practices. They are not required, but just merely suggestions of what we have found has worked. Having the address in the headline usually does drive the best results for that particular ad. So it has been selected as the default. If you don't want to use that, you can go with, check out this listing, welcome to your new home, beautiful waterfront property for sale, things of that nature. This says 25 characters, again, about 25 to 30 characters to ensure the headline is fully displayed, and you will be able to see that when you look in the system as well. The body will usually pull the first two sentences of your MLS listing description. You can go in and edit if that's not what you want to be out on your social media ad, then you can always go in and edit that as you see fit. Maybe I want to put information about, the property's proximity to landmarks, the amenities. Is there a very unique design feature of this property? Maybe this property is within a mile to a beautiful park that has a public boat launch and some nature trails. Again, so it doesn't have to be all about the property, because we know that people also purchase the neighborhood. So feel free to push those things out. Keep fair housing in mind. So we always want to talk about the property, but we never want to mention people in any of our advertising. And also the thing we want to remember is keeping that to 90 to 100 characters. Excuse me. We know that people are going to keep scrolling if they have a novel there that they really just don't want to read. Your link description usually is configured with Bed Bath and square footage. Link descriptions are not visible on mobile devices. So make sure you're not putting anything in there that has like critical information. You can use the information to emphasize any other selling points you would like to mention. And then you do get a listing campaign report. So this is where it's a little bit different than if I jump into Facebook through the ads manager. Here I can go in. I can see how many campaigns I've had, how many leads, how many impressions, and I can get into each individual campaign and view a detailed, of the campaign performance. So you'll be able to download a seller report if you've pushed one out for a listing. You can see how your ad appears on all the different platforms. What does my ad look like in the desktop news feed? What does it look like in a mobile news feed or on the right column or even in Instagram, especially if I don't have Instagram? What is my ad preview? What are the results? And then my ad variations, which have, again, all the same text, all of the same information, but different photos. So there are reporting metrics. So if you're trying to reach as many people as possible, the goal here is, again, impressions, how many people we reach, and then the cost is going to be per 1,000 impressions. If we're trying to drive traffic to a website or a website link, the hero metric will be click-throughs. So that's that click-through rate, and it would be cost per click. And then leads, again, we want to get leads. We want to reach as many people as possible to fill out that form, and it would be cost per lead. And there are some shorthand in there. So you can see here like CPM, cost per 1,000 impressions. So cost per impressions, cost per click, cost per lead, click-through rate, those kind of things. And that's what Facebook calls all of the metrics and how they see how engaging your particular ad has been in reference to the performance goal of that campaign. The campaign seller report is it's awesome. It's a very good visual aid to send to your seller. Here is the property that we pushed out on these dates. Your property has been seen, 10,000 and sometimes on both Facebook and Instagram. We optimized using these 3 different photos. So it's a preview of all the variations of your ad as it was run. And then all of the measurements to see the effectiveness of the ad, like how many people actually saw this particular, how many individual unique people have seen it. Maybe they've seen it multiple times, so it's given them a very good impression. How many times your ads were clicked through, or number of leads were generated, and then of course the engagement, the likes, the comments, and the shares. Apologize for the fuzziness, but we know that social media usage has really jumped up. The average adult spends 82 minutes per day on social media, not just the internet, on social media. Last year with the pandemic, we saw those numbers rise. Facebook is up nearly 30%. Messaging is up 50%. Instagram has surged by 40%. So if you're still not on the gram, it's okay. This is a great way to get on Instagram without being on Instagram. And we see that people are more likely to buy from people that they follow on Facebook or on Instagram more so than YouTube, Pinterest, Twitter, Snapchat, LinkedIn, and Reddit combined. So that's pretty profound. And 65% of people say they're influenced by home buying content on their Facebook and Instagram feeds. So they are looking, you are influencing them on, maybe it is the right time for them to sell their property. So 77% of people that are on Facebook use it every single day. 70% of people on Instagram use it every single day. So these aren't people that are just using it here and there. They are on it every day. So we can see that's all generations. I always like to point that out because sometimes I'll hear people say, oh, well, the older generation or the newer generation, but really we're seeing all generations are on social media. So again, you have to figure out the objective that fits you and your goal. If you're trying to drive people to your website or a particular listing, do you want to get buyer leads for that listing? Do you want to generate seller leads? Do you want just as many people to see this listing as possible? Do you want to put out an agent ad where people are seeing you as much as possible? I do have here some crafting the conscious copy. So again, we want to be directive. We don't want to yell. We don't want to be in all caps. Being authentic, we know, is very important on social media. Being compliant with Facebook, with the fair housing. So again, this does take out some of that guesswork of required legal compliance for you. Make sure you're not discriminating against any social or demographic groups. That's why I always say we're not going to talk about people at all. I'm not going to say, oh, this backyard would be great for your family, but this backyard would be great for entertaining. Would be great for entertaining, could be entertaining children, it could be entertaining guests, it could be entertaining anybody. Highlight standout features of the property. If you're doing a listing ad, maybe it has a really fantastic pool or a really great backyard. Maybe the kitchen is fantastic. It has brand new floors, etc., a new roof. And then again, proximity to landmarks. I find that this is, as agents, where we concentrate so much on the house, but what are things that are close by? So this particular property is within a mile of two local parks. One has, public boat launch and nature trails, pavilions. And then it's also within 2 miles of a drive-through pharmacy. So things of that nature, you're grabbing people now that are outdoorsy, people maybe that could really benefit from, maybe it's really close to a grocery store, things of that nature. And then your ad targeting, again, I did mention before that Facebook got their hands slapped by fair housing. Your target audience will be 18 to 65 plus. There are no exceptions. We cannot control the age of who it goes to. Again, that's the anti-discrimination policies with fair housing that Facebook is required now to follow. But we can do radiuses. It begins at 15 miles. It can go up to 49 miles. You can target multiple cities at the same time. Again, if you dove into CBX buyer locator and it's telling you, hey, you just listed this property in Towson and we're seeing a lot of people coming from Elkton and they're moving to Towson, then I'm going to take that ad. I'm going to push it out in Elkton so that people can see the ad for this particular property. Again, you can connect with your community. It does not have to be a listing. If you don't want to promote yourself, there are different things in here. There's a we're in this together branding template in social, in BrandServe for social media. There are a lot of different templates in BrandServe. This is just one as an example, but things that are already branded for you, you can go ahead and put them in there. Of course, yours is going to say realty to make you compliant. But you can put those in as well. Again, some campaign recommendations for those, listing campaign recommendations, and I'll send this out to you. And then we can also do a short demo. So we can go right into Social Ad Engine, open up this platform. Again, it is in Desk. You just want to look for that tab right there. Maybe if I want to move it up to the top, I can do that. I can put it anywhere that I want in the system to find it easily. Oh, well, it doesn't like me today. Let's try that one more time. So we're going to go into Social Ad Engine. or maybe we're not. So let me go ahead and refresh. I do apologize. Sometimes there are some technical difficulties. Um, Generally speaking, you're going to jump into social ad engine. It's going to require you to set yourself up for, sign in via your business page. So I guess I will have to put a ticket in for this. My apologies. But you will jump in. It will give you the option once you've set it up with your Facebook business page to jump in, to do a listing, to do any kind of ad that you would like to do. There are some prices in here, so you can do 5 days, 7 days, 11 days, 14 days. I believe 3 days was just added as well to get those impressions. You'll see again, the longer the ad goes, the more impressions, the click-throughs, the leads that you get. And a lot of people ask, what is the difference between social ad engine and Boost? Should I use Boost? Should I use social ad engine? This kind of gives us a little bit of information here. So social ad engine and Boost can be very similar, but they do have some differences. So Boost by HomeSpotter does run automatically with your listing concierge. You can target your seller by adding their email address to the campaign. You cannot do that with social ad engine, but you are able to run those 3 different versions of your ad to see what the performance is, test that performance. You can choose your ad goal, the awareness, the traffic, or the leads, ad qualifying questions. So again, when you go in to develop that ad, it'll say, do you want to add these questions? You can check off the boxes or uncheck the boxes if you don't want them included. But things like, when are you, how soon are you moving? What is the thing you like the most about your house? Like, there are different things that you can choose from for your ad. And then also your Facebook business page is required for social ad engine, but not for Boost. Leads do go directly into InTouch. So that's another thing too. We know when we do a listing concierge ad that we do have to go into Boost by HomeSpotter. We have to go in and get the leads, export them, put them into our CRM. In this case, they will go directly into InTouch. If you're set up to have things ring to your phone, they will ring automatically to your phone. So that is there for you as well. And again, the cost is a bit different. So you can do 7 days, 5 days, 14, or 3 days. There isn't any monthly awareness campaign for agents. And again, HomeSpotter and Boost is a little bit different. That does go out into the internet. You can do listings, agent branded, different things of that nature. And just to show you the differences, Boost also creates listing ads. It optimizes your landing page. It builds your audience. It runs the campaign for you. So, you can target your seller. You can have the information. They will see the ad as it goes out. It also goes on to the internet. So that's really the big piece of it. I find that most agents are like, oh, okay, social ad engine does Facebook and Instagram. Boost does social media and the internet. But we know it's a great way to show our sellers that we're pushing their stuff out. Boost, it goes live in the MLS. You create the ad. It's going to email you. It's going to go online. They can click through, submit their data. And again, you're going to get that lead. Unfortunately, I can't do too many demos. It's not letting me in. But you can also go through, contact your marketing team, contact your field marketing specialist. We can sit down with you. Last week, I did sit down with an agent. We went into social ad engine together during a one-on-one appointment. We were able to look at the process, create her ad together. She was able to determine and ask a couple more questions about, what does this mean, or what does that mean, or how do we get this information in here? We were able to go into brand serve and get some really good tactics, some really great photos to build her ad, and then, go in together and be able to do that. Again, you can do reach ads, lead ads, traffic ads. Don't be fooled when you go in and you see all of the different ads that are already created. You can go in and change the photos. You can change the verbiage. Again, it's just a platform for you to build your ad without having to go into Ads Manager and Facebook and start from scratch. So with that, does anybody have any questions? Okay. Well, with that, unfortunately, since I can't quite get into the demo again, my apologies profusely. I will go put a help desk ticket in for myself. As an employee, every once in a while, they will boot me out of the system. But again, feel free to go in. There's no charge to go into the system and poke around, look around, see what all the things are. Again, feel free to sit with your field marketing specialist. Our services are always free to you. We can sit down with you. We can get into the system with you via a screen share on a virtual appointment or an in-person appointment in the office. Go through and show you all the ins and outs of the system. See if it works for you and your business. In some cases it does, and in some cases it does not. So just know that we're here to help you with that every step of the way. And with that, if nobody has any questions, I will stop the recording.